I just want to clarify the difference between nth-of-child and nth-of-type because sometimes it can be a little bit confusing. So let's look at this simple HTML page. All I have here is a section tag that contains 3 paragraph tags, and this of course is what the page is going to look like in the browser. We're going to start off by adding a nth-child selector to our code. So I'm going to go up into my CSS and I'm going to make a selector for p nth-child. And we're going to pass on 2, so this will select the second paragraph. And we'll just change the color of the text to be teal. If I save my page and we go look in the browser, this is going to do what you'd expect it to do. It's going to select the second paragraph. Now, if I add another selector for nth-of-type, and we also pass on 2, selecting the second paragraph using nth-of-type this time, and let's just make the color orange. If I save and we look in the browser, you're now going to see that that teal paragraph turns to orange. So both of these selectors currently are doing the exact same thing. So what's the difference? What's the difference between nth-child and nth-of-type? Well, let's look at this so that we can sort out the differences. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come down to my HTML and I'm going to copy this section tag that contains the 3 paragraphs. And I'm going to paste this into my page and we're going to add a heading. If I save the page, you're probably going to expect that this paragraph is going to be orange, as is this paragraph. They're both the second paragraph within their sections. But when I refresh the page in my browser, look what's happening. The first section tag, which is right up here, let me just quickly throw a border around the section tag just so you can tell these apart easier. Okay, so we'll just put a dotted border around the edge of the section as well as a margin on the bottom. If I save now, you can clearly see where the sections start and end. So if we look at the first section, the second paragraph is getting targeted with orange. That is a result of our nth-of-type. In the second section, however, the first paragraph, which is using nth-child, is turning teal, and the second paragraph is turning orange. This is probably not what you would expect to be happening. What's happening is nth-child, it's selecting an element if it is a paragraph element and if it is the second child of a parent. That doesn't necessarily mean it has to be the second paragraph child of a parent. So in the second section, this is a second child. The paragraph is a second child of the parent, the section tag, and it is a paragraph, so it does meet both criteria. It just doesn't happen to be the second paragraph. Here, it works perfectly because there is no other element other than the first paragraph that is within the section tag. But you can see here it kind of starts to break. Now the nth-of-type selector means select the second paragraph child of a parent. Nth-of-type is less conditional. Let me make one more change to my markup just to further illustrate this. If we go ahead and copy this section tag, and here, if I add an additional heading, so here I'm going to add an H2 tag as well. So now I have an H1 and H2 and the 3 paragraphs. If we save and we refresh in the browser, you're going to see that nothing is selected with the teal. That paragraph 1 is not selected in this third section, and the reason why is because it no longer meets the criteria. Yes, it is a paragraph element, but no, it is no longer the second child of the parent. The heading 2 is the second child of the parent. So this is a subtle distinction, but obviously it's very important. So when you're trying to select elements, if there are other HTML elements within the parent element, it could affect how the selection works. So just be aware of the difference between nth of child and nth of type.